Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea, one that might totally change how you look at your day-to-day life. We're going to challenge the notion of traditional ritual and ask, what if your actions, your work, your creativity, what if that's the truest form of worship? So it all kicks off with this really simple but deep question. Have you ever stopped to think about it? Is worship just something you do for a few minutes a day? Or is it something you're meant to be, in every single moment? And this is where we see the big contrast, right? On one hand, you've got this idea of passive repetition, maybe chanting the same phrase 1,000 times, just kind of waiting for something to happen. But on the other hand, you have active creation, building something, innovating, adding real value to the world. And the sermon we're looking at makes a bold claim. True worship isn't in the repetition, it's in the creation. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, we need to zoom out. Way out. Let's take a look at the entire universe. Because, in its own way, the universe is in this constant state of worship, just by doing what it does, perfectly. Just think about the sun, for example. It doesn't get bored, right? It doesn't just decide to take a day off. It follows its cosmic program flawlessly, rising and setting, keeping the whole balance of life going. That consistency, that perfect function, that is its worship. Or, hey, what about the bee? It's basically programmed, or as the source we're looking at says, divinely inspired, to make honey and pollinate flowers. It doesn't sit around questioning its purpose, it just fulfills it. It contributes to the whole system every single time without fail. And this next part, wow, it really shows you the sheer scale of this idea. Think about this. On a single tree, not a single leaf is an exact copy of another. This is not some factory production line stamping out the same thing over and over. Nope. It's a constant display of infinite unique creation. Every little piece has its own specific, unrepeatable role to play. So, this perfect, harmonious state of things, it actually has a name. It's called Mizan. It's this idea of a perfect cosmic balance, this incredible order where everything, and I mean everything, from a star down to a single cell, is doing exactly what it was made to do. And in doing so, it keeps the whole system in check. Okay, so here's the big question, the crucial point. If the whole universe worships by keeping this balance, what does that mean for us? Because we're the one part of creation with free will. We can choose to contribute to that balance, to that mizan, or we can choose to disrupt it. And this quote really nails the difference. It puts our potential into perspective. Think about it. A human company, they succeed by making the same car, the same product over and over. It's all about uniformity. But the divine model, that's all about infinite variety. So the point becomes pretty clear, doesn't it? We're not supposed to be just cogs in a machine. We're meant to be unique creators. And this all leads to a pretty radical redefinition of a concept called tasbih, which means glorification. It's not just about chanting. No, it's about doing honest work. It's about creating things, products, services that actually benefit other people. It's about being reliable, upholding order in our own little corner of the world. So you can really see the difference here. The old way of thinking might be this kind of passive hope, sitting around and just praying for wealth to show up. But this new proposed model, it's all about active creation. It's about innovating, studying, working, putting in the effort to actually earn it. And by doing that, you're taking part in the world's balance, just like that bee or the sun we talked about. All right, so this whole cosmic idea of Mizan sounds amazing in theory, right? But how does it actually work in our messy, everyday lives? Well, this is where the principle gets super practical.
The tool we use to maintain Mizan in the human world is a concept called hudud. And really, it just means boundaries, limits. It's the framework that stops our lives and our relationships from just falling into chaos.
And look, we're not talking about some abstract philosophical rules here. This is real life stuff. This is about setting clear expectations with your spouse so resentment doesn't build up. It's about giving your kids structure and rules. In business, it's a crystal clear contract. The message couldn't be simpler. If we don't set these boundaries, we are personally inviting disorder right into our lives, and we're the ones who end up disrupting our own balance. So this whole redefinition of worship, shifting from just chanting to actually doing, from hoping to actively building, it all leads to this really fascinating new way of looking at why we're even here on Earth to begin with. A lot of traditional views frame the story of Adam as a fall, which can make life on Earth feel like some kind of punishment. But what if we've been looking at that story all wrong? What if it isn't a punishment at all? What if it's an opportunity?
The secret ingredient, the key difference, is time. Think about it. In a place that's eternal, a mistake is, well, it's final. There is no later to fix things. Adam's one mistake led to immediate expulsion. But here, on Earth, time is our greatest gift. It's the very thing that gives us a second chance, the chance to mess up, to learn from it, to repent, and to try again.
So, from this perspective, being sent here wasn't a punishment at all. It was actually a mercy. This life, with all its struggles, all its choices, it's a training ground. It's like a simulator where we get to practice and learn how to align ourselves with that cosmic balance, with Mizan. And that's a chance we simply wouldn't have had in a place where everything is permanent. And that really is the final, powerful idea that this whole explainer leaves us with. It's a challenge, really. A challenge to see our work, our relationships, our innovations, even our simple daily efforts to create a little bit of order and help others as the truest, most profound form of worship we could possibly offer. Maybe the ultimate prayer isn't something you say. Maybe it's just a life well lived.